These kids are currently living at my sanatorium. Tsubaki, Kana, Ryosuke, say hi to everyone.
Nice to meet you. Our families left us when we got sick. We're lucky Mr. Kirishima took us in.
Yeah. Mr. Kirishima's sanatorium gives us free food, shelter, and medical care. Without him, we'd be homeless. We're all very grateful to him.
I'm just doing my part. Ether aptitude regression syndrome is very rare. Hardly anyone understands what you're going through.
Oh, really? Last I heard, certain characteristics of this disease are pretty well known.
Anyway, since we're all here today, let's talk about happier things, shall we? My new manager friend here might not know this, but Harumasa was a real genius when he was a kid. First time he picked up a bow, he was hitting bullseyes. Just incredible.
He's still a genius, you know.
Not just archery. This kid could learn anything with minimal guidance. Gotta envy that talent. Too bad Master turned out the way he did. The things that man did are unforgivable. That's why I want to find him with Harumasa.
Your name's Kana, right? Why are you so quiet?
She's not used to socializing due to her health. Don't mind her. Come on, no use just standing here. Let's go inside and have some hot pot. Got any plans next? Maybe we could find somewhere else to...
Sorry that we're meeting again under such circumstances, Mr. Kirishima. But we've received an anonymous tip about illegal activities you may be involved with. Please, come with us.
Illegal activities? You must be mistaken. I have always been a law-abiding citizen.
No mistake, sir. We're here for you. You know exactly what this is about. Now come along, Mr. Kirishima. We'll get you situated with some fresh tea down at the station.
I'm afraid this isn't a good time. I have to take these kids back to the sanatorium soon. They hardly get to see the outside world, and I can't just leave them all on their own. Surely you understand.
Cooperating with public security is every law-abiding citizen's duty. Don't give our officer a hard time. Tell you what, I'll take the kids. I promise they'll get back to the sanatorium safely. Sound good?
Mr. Kirishima, shall we go?
Okay. I'll entrust the kids with you, Harumasa. But could you take them to Port Elpis? The sanatorium is nearby, and I'll send someone to pick them up.
Oh. You don't want me to visit the sanatorium? Got something to hide?
Of course not. I just don't want you to go out of your way. The sanatorium is in a remote area with a quiet environment to better help our patients. It's really hard to find without someone leading the way.
Oh, I see. Well, my super rich friend here wants to come too. Wouldn't you want a wealthy investor to see your sanatorium? Might just drop a couple $100 million dennies on it.
That's right. I'm very interested in your project, and if I like what I see, I'd happily invest $100 million.
We'd need to prepare for such an esteemed guest properly. There's still parts of the sanatorium that need work. We'll be sure to invite you once everything's ready. Isn't that right, Tsubaki?
Yes. Mr. Kirishima is right. We still have to get some things ready.
All right. I'll bring them to the port, and your staff can meet us there.
Okay, kids, stay close to Harumasa. Be good and don't cause him any trouble. Got it?
Got it.
See you later. All right, everyone. Let's go. I'll take you to the port.
Wait, you mean the drugs we seized are linked to a big case from years ago?
That's what people are saying. Apparently, it's a case from way back when. There was this researcher who invented an enhancing serum that could boost ether aptitude significantly in an instant. Even though it had nasty side effects and was totally illegal, it still caught the eye of some groups. But that's not even the wildest part. Do you know how the drug is made? They make it from living beings.
Living beings? Like animals? Or do you mean live ethereals?
You can't even imagine. They make it from live human tissue.
Live? Human tissue?
It's from patients with a special disease. We saw one, remember? The kid who turned into an ethereal right before us? I think it was called ether aptitude regression syndrome. It's a terminal illness. Most patients die before reaching adulthood, and the longer they live, the more dangerous it gets. They rarely make it past their 20s. The gist of it is, because of this disease, their tissue can be used to create the wonder drug that boosts ether aptitude.
What wonder drug? This is straight up illegal. And using live people to make it? Do they even see them as humans?
Well, it's definitely very risky for the patients. It could worsen their illness, maybe even kill them. But to be honest, if they could reduce the side effects, I'd be up for trying it. Considering we have to go into the hollows regularly, even the best of us can run into danger. If we had a drug like this, we'd feel a lot safer.
But isn't that unethical? Yeah, we might be safer. But what about the patients? They deserve to live a good life too!
You make a good point.
It's a small price to pay. Since the disease is terminal, just like your colleague pointed out, maybe using them to make drugs that help others isn't such a bad idea. Making the world a better place often means sacrifices. Between patients who won't live long and promising officers like you, the choice is obvious. Looking at the big picture from New Eridu's standpoint, these patients are just necessary sacrifices we have to make.
Asaba Harumasa! As an executive officer at Section 6, how could you say that? No one deserves to be a sacrifice! We all swore an oath when we graduated from the academy. No matter where we end up, public security or HSO, we pledged to serve and protect all civilians equally, not to judge them as more or less valuable. You can't weigh one life over another. If you really believe that, you shouldn't be wearing that uniform.
Hey, Seth, calm down. Harumasa probably didn't mean it that way.
Interesting. I never thought a man like your brother could have a sibling like you.
Huh? What's my brother got to do with this?
Nothing. Just thinking out loud. Seth Lowell.
What? You want to fight? I'm not afraid of you!
You're an honest man. You're going to make an excellent public security officer.
Huh? Huh?
Oh, and just to clarify, the drug's made from spinal fluid, not body tissue. It has to be extracted directly from the back of the neck while the patient is still alive. Well then, I'll leave you officers to your work.
What was that all about? Things escalated pretty fast. You're not mad, are you?
No. I was just curious how other authorities think about the drug, that's all. By the way, what's your take on this drug?
The production of this drug is unethical. What kind of civilized society would use living people to make medicine? Just like Seth said, no one should be a sacrifice.
No one should be a sacrifice, huh? I see. The kids are probably done talking. Let's go check on them. What do you want to drink? It's on me. Excuse me, can I get a bitter gourd juice first?
Bitter gourd juice? That's a unique choice.
You might be surprised, but bitterness can actually taste pretty good once you're used to it. When you've had to take as many meds as I have, for as long as I have, you start to appreciate the flavor. Relax. You can trust me. Not just because I'm from HSO. I've also got some unfinished business with Kirishima.
It was Kirishima who killed Shinya. And others, too. A lot of kids at the sanatorium have died because of him.
He's doing experiments on you, isn't he?
You knew?
Just a guess. I didn't see any puncture marks on your necks. He must have told you to cover them up.
Yeah, Kirishima has been using us, taking our spinal fluid to make that ether aptitude booster drug. The whole sanatorium is just one big human experiment lab, but he tells everyone it's a charity to help us. Shinya died because of him.
Shinya wasn't even that sick. He had the mildest symptoms among us. But Kirishima... He injected Shinya with the drug he developed himself. Just because he wanted to collect data on the side effects, fully aware it's deadly to people like us.
Even though his drug is an unfinished product, the side effects are still too much for patients with ether aptitude regression syndrome.
Shinya took my place. I was the one who was supposed to get injected.
I know people at public security. Let's go and report this case immediately.
We can't. He warned us that the other kids at the sanatorium are his hostages. And if we do anything, they'll die.
How's your condition right now?
Not great. I probably don't have much time left.
Don't say things like that, Kana. We're all gonna be okay.
I'm not just saying that, Tsubaki. I've made up my mind. Next time, when it's your turn to extract the spinal fluid, just use mine. He won't care whose it is, as long as it works. At the very least, I want to do something meaningful before my time is up.
No! You should rest more because your condition's worsened. I'm doing okay right now. They can have my spinal fluid.
There you all are. I've been looking everywhere.
Look who's here. What took you so long? I thought you'd forgotten about these kids.
I would never. The guy I sent to meet you must have dozed off in the car. He wasn't picking up my calls.
Sounds like he's burnt out from working too hard. You should watch out for that. Labor disputes are not fun.
You're right. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for taking care of the kids today. It's getting late. I'll take them back now.
Don't worry. I've talked to the kids and slipped GPS trackers and mics on them.
You didn't say anything you shouldn't have today, did you?
No! We didn't say anything!
Good. Remember, you're just my living medical supplies. Anyone who dares disobey me will be joining Shinya soon. I could use someone to test the side effects of the latest batch.
This guy is pure evil. We've got to stop him.
We'll use the recordings as evidence, and I'm going to track down the exact coordinates of the sanatorium. But like Kana said, there are other kids there. We can't risk alerting him. Otherwise, Knowing what he's like, he'll probably kill them all and cover everything up. As for the spinal fluid, I'll figure something out.
What's wrong? Are you okay?
I'm fine, just a bit worn out today. Let's head back first.
Whoa, afternoon tea! Thank you, Master.
Remember, Harumasa, what do we do before snack time?
I know. It's time for that. I need to get the shot in my neck first.
That's right. And don't forget your daily medicine. These are all necessary things to help you get better.
Don't worry, Master. I'm not afraid of pain or medicine. But the medicine, it's bitter like the black coffee that you always drink.
Good boy. You're going to get better soon.
Then, if I keep being a good boy, will I get a prize?
What did you have in mind?
I want your headband. With that, I'll be as good as you. Every shot from my bow will be a bullseye.
The headband isn't what does that. Very well, but you have to keep being a good boy, okay?
You've been awfully quiet. How are you feeling? Are you okay?
Sorry, I got distracted. Anyway, back to what we were saying. I've been dodging this topic, but someone as sharp as you probably figured it out already. I'm just like those kids. I have ether aptitude regression syndrome. This disease affects different parts of the body for different people. For me, it's mainly my lungs and heart. As you can see, it's also caused my chronic condition.
Are you going to be okay?
Don't worry, my condition is mild. I'm not gonna die that easily. You know what they say, the bad guys always live the longest.
Kirishima is the real bad guy here. Wait, I hope he doesn't stick around.
Back when I was first diagnosed, my parents took me to the best hospital in the city. They told me they'd get some food for me while we waited, but they never came back. I was too little to even speak properly then. But even if I knew where home was, there was no going back. After that, Master took me in. He taught me a lot of things, like how to draw a bow, how to wield a blade, and how to survive in this world with this body of mine. He said he wanted to cure me. So every day, I took lots of meds and got injections in the back of my neck. It wasn't until much later I realized they weren't giving me shots, but extracting materials from me to make the booster drug. The choker I wear is actually to cover the scars on my neck. But hey, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Oops, I've said more than I should. But that's all in the past now. I don't care anymore.
I'm glad it doesn't bother you anymore.
Anyway, back to the matter at hand. I think I know what Kirishima is after. He said he wants to help me find Master, but what he really wants is the research data and drug samples my master left behind. But now that it's come to this, I have no choice but to confront him. Not just for my master, but for the sake of those kids, too. When the time comes, I'll be counting on your guidance, partner.